Today I'm taking a look at John Lennon's Instant Karma, one of my favorite Lennon tunes actually. And of course, it's a piano-driven song, so what I'm going to do is just work it out on guitar what the chord progression is, and it's really fun to play. It's got a quarter note and a shuffle feel at the same time. The shuffle feel is predominant, but of course Lennon's just jamming out these quarter note jabs on the piano. There's a few ways to approach these chords. I'll first show you the way I like to play it, but I'll also include in this tutorial some variations, some ways you can do it that might suit you better, okay? So let me just play a brief example of it for you, an abbreviated version to avoid repetition, and then we'll get right into the lesson. So the first thing we hear on the recording is those two octaves that John plays on the piano. We have an E and a G. And I play them sort of at the bridge of the guitar just because the piano is kind of really bright on the recording. But place your ring finger on the 7th fret on the A string, and we will play the open E string, the 6th string, and that A string together. Then place your first finger on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, skip a fret and a string, placing your ring finger on the 5th fret on the D string, and mute the A string out in between, and then hit all 3 of those strings. And then you get the G octave as well. And then we are into the song. And the way I played it in the performance was like this. We play that 3 times. So we've got an A major chord, a bar chord. And then for this next chord where you hear the piano drop that G sharp in the bass, that's a constant in the progression, by the way, that little descending line. I place my first finger on the 4th fret on the 6th string, 7th fret with my pinky on the A string, and then 6th fret with my ring finger on the D string. And you want to play just those 3 strings as you make your way to the F sharp minor. Now you can just keep doing those quarter note staccato jabs like the piano, but when I get to the F sharp minor, I like to kind of get that shuffle groove in there. I think it sounds kind of nice, you know, on guitar, because it doesn't quite sound as full as it does on the piano. Now, if you want, if that's a bit rough, you can play a regular A bar chord and then place your ring finger on the 4th fret on the E string, kind of mute out the open A string, and you'll get that A chord with the G sharp in the bass. Doesn't sound quite as good, but you can still capture a bit of it. I definitely prefer this way if you can get that going. But just in case, you know, and you want to play the tune, you can even leave the G sharp out if you want to and just go straight to the F sharp minor. But that's one of the things I love about piano. You can do things like that and make it sound pretty cool. Then we move to an F chord, F major, same shape as what we had with the first chord, the A. We move from F to G to A with the same rhythm. So again, that shuffle groove is down, 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 up, with a definite shuffle feel. So for that whole first progression then we have and then we move to D, and the way I like to play that is because the piano is moving. Now, I'll show you a couple of different ways to play that. The way I'm playing it is with a D bar chord, and then we're playing an A major triad with a C sharp in the bass. So you can see the chord up on the screen, but make sure that you only strum the middle 4 strings. Then we move to a B minor chord. Take the finger off, the first finger off, so that you get an open A string. So we've got this. Now you can also play that like this. Just take a regular D chord, put your pinky down on the 4th fret on the A string. Kind of the same idea as we were doing with the A. You can do that. And then move to the B minor, and then finally the open A string. You can also play this. That's just a different way of playing the A chord with the C sharp in the bass. You bar a regular A chord, and then place your ring finger on the 4th fret on the A string, and that doesn't sound too bad. So that might be a little bit easier way to play that. And then we move to a C chord, and I like to approach it the exact same way as I did from the D. And I'll show you another way to play that as well, but it's the same thing that we did from the D. But we're doing it from C to A minor. And then bring your ring finger up to the 3rd fret on the 6th string. And then we've got that descending line as well. So we've got so the one from D we played twice, and the one from C we play 1 time. Now, another way you can play the C progression is to just play a regular standard C chord that we all know and love on guitar. And then move your 2nd finger to the 2nd fret on the A string, pulling your ring finger off, and then make your way to the A minor that way. That's sort of the standard guitar approach to playing it. And it still sounds pretty good, but again, if you can get these fingerings going, they sound a little bit more pianistic, which I like. Okay, so after we've done that, then we move to a D chord. And as a note, needless to say, I'm playing so many of these chords very staccato to emulate those quarter note jabs on the piano. So you've got to apply some definite muting back here. But I like to open it up when I get to that section. So when I come off of the C, that sounds kind of nice and just kind of keeping with the vibe and the atmosphere of the recording. So we move to D, just a regular D chord. Make sure you've got the muting going back here that I mentioned. And then when we get to the E major, just a string of triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now that leads us right into the chorus, of course. But let me run all of that down for you. course, we head back to a verse the first time around, but the second time around, we go right into the chorus. And for the chorus, we've got 3 chords, G, B minor, and E minor. And then we'll also have the D to the E again. But what I like to do is, especially for playing it on guitar, is really open that up. And so on. So for the G, B minor, and E, as well as the remaining chords, I've got this. So it's that shuffle feel. Down, up, 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 down, up. With those little bit of accents in there if you can get it. And those happen on the upstroke. Let me accentuate that a little bit. That sounds nice. So G, B minor to E minor 3 times, then back to D and E again. And right back to the verse again. So there you go with Instant Karma from John Lennon on guitar. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. It's a all-time favorite song of mine from him. So we'll see you guys soon. Take care to everyone.